Bai Lu's silent reaction, the truth behind Dylan and Shen Yue's reunion. The truth you are about to hear will shake you, surprise you, and leave you wondering how all of this was hidden for so long. Before you continue, make sure you subscribe to Kdrama Drops, because what you are about to witness is only the beginning of a story that has been quietly unfolding behind the scenes for years. If you miss a single episode, you will miss everything. The studio lights were dim that afternoon. A soft haze floated above the set as the crew prepared for a reunion scene no one expected. Dylan, Wang and Shen Yue, two stars whose chemistry had shaped a generation of drama lovers, were scheduled to meet again for the first time after months of silence. Fans waited with racing hearts. Cameras were already rolling before they even stepped into the room. But what no one expected was that Bai Lu would be there too. Silent. Observing. Waiting. The doors opened slowly. First, Dylan stepped in. His expression was controlled but filled with something deeper. Something he had carried for months. Something even the camera struggled to catch. Moments later, Shen Yue walked in, her calmness masking the tremor in her breath. It was their first reunion after the rumors, the misunderstandings, the distance, and the unexplained tension that had shaken the entire industry. The moment their eyes met, the entire set stopped breathing. Even the cameras seemed to freeze for a heartbeat. Shen Yue lifted her gaze, unsure, careful, but undeniably drawn toward Dylan. Dylan took a small step forward, as if instinct pulled him toward her before his mind could stop him. And Bai Lu saw everything. She sat at the far corner of the studio, her posture straight, her expression unreadable. She had not planned to be there. Yet something compelled her to witness the truth behind their reunion, the truth behind the feelings that had never truly disappeared. The director called for a simple greeting scene, but nothing about this moment was simple. Dylan walked closer. Shen Yue lowered her eyes, but not out of fear, more out of the overwhelming emotion she was trying to control. The silence between them spoke volumes, a silence filled with memories, unspoken promises, and unresolved emotions. Dylan whispered her name. Just her name. But it felt like a confession. Shen Yue looked up. Her voice trembled as she greeted him. And that single tremor was enough to reveal what her heart had been trying to hide for far too long. The crew felt it. The tension. The longing. The quiet ache that connected them. And Bai Lu felt it too. Her expression remained calm, but her fingers tightened around the script on her lap. She watched every detail, every glance, every breath exchanged between the two. She did not intervene. She did not speak. She did not even move. She only watched. In that moment, her silence became louder than any reaction she could have had. During the scene, Dylan and Shen Yue stood close, closer than the script required. Their hands brushed accidentally, and both froze as if sparks shot through them. Shen Yue tried to step back, but Dylan steadied her with a gentle touch. She looked up into his eyes, and the entire room fell into a hush. There was history there. Deep. Undeniable. Documented only in the hearts of those who had witnessed their journey from the very beginning. Bai Lu exhaled silently. It was a soft exhale, but a telling one. She finally understood. She understood why no rumor had ever broken them. She understood why no distance had ever fully separated them. She understood why their connection had remained unshaken despite everything said online. The truth was simple. They were never just acting. Not entirely. There was something real in the way they looked at each other, something genuine in the way they understood each other without speaking. The director called cut, but Dylan and Shen Yue did not move apart immediately. They stood in the same space, lingering just a moment longer, as if breaking the moment would feel like tearing something fragile. Something precious. Bai Lu watched them with quiet acceptance. Not anger. Not jealousy. Not confusion. Acceptance. She rose from her seat and walked toward them. Shen Yue stepped back, unsure, but Bai Lu only smiled, a soft calm smile that held more maturity than anyone expected. She placed her hand on Shen Yue's arm gently. A gesture of acknowledgement. A gesture of understanding. Then she looked at Dylan, her eyes steady. She did not scold him. She did not question him. She did not challenge him. Instead, she said a single line that everyone there would remember forever. Some people are connected in ways the world cannot break. And with that, she stepped away, her silent reaction revealing more truth than any confrontation could have. Shen Yue stood speechless. Dylan swallowed hard, his emotions bare for the first time that day. The entire set felt the impact of Bai Lu's words. Her silence had spoken louder than any scene. Louder than any rumor. Louder than any fan theory. The truth was not explosive. It was profound. Dylan and Shen Yue's reunion was not a scandal. It was not a competition. It was not a rivalry. It was something deeper, something that neither distance nor time had managed to erase. As filming continued, their connection grew clearer. Their movements flowed naturally, their conversations warmed, and their smiles became genuine again. Bai Lu remained supportive from a distance, choosing not to interrupt the fragile restoration of something that had been broken for too long. By the end of the day, the entire crew knew one thing for certain. Something had shifted. Something had awakened. Something long buried had found its voice again. And Bai Lu, despite being silent, had played the most important role in revealing the truth behind their reunion. Some stories are loud. Some are messy. But some unfold in silence, revealing truths that shake the entire world. Dylan stood alone in the hallway after Shen Yue stepped back, and for a long moment he could not even breathe. The set lights around him felt dimmer, the air colder, and his thoughts louder than ever. Bai Lu had seen everything. Her silence had followed him all the way out of the room, and now it echoed in his head with every slow heartbeat. He walked down the hall searching for her, hoping she had not gone far, hoping she had waited even if it was only for a second. But the only sound he heard was the distant hum of equipment. She was nowhere in sight. Outside in the parking lot, Bai Lu stood quietly beside her car with her fingers trembling. She kept replaying the moment she had walked into the room and seen the two of them. The shock, the closeness, the quiet laugh Dylan had given Shen Yue without seeing her standing there. Her chest hurt in a way she could not put into words. She did not cry. She did not shout. She simply stood still with a silence that felt heavier than 1,000 words. Dylan finally found her. When she looked up at him, her eyes were calm but distant, and that frightened him more than any argument. He walked closer with slow steps, like someone approaching something fragile and valuable. "Bai Lu, please, we need to talk," he said gently. She remained still. He took a breath. Shen Yue was upset. "She came to me. I did not expect the hug. I did not think. I reacted too slowly. I am sorry." No reaction. Only silence. He tried again. "I should have pushed her away faster. I should have remembered how this would look to you. I should have protected what we have." Then she finally spoke in a soft, low voice. "Do you love her?" His heart jumped. "No. Of course not. I care about her. But love? Never." "Then why did you hold her like that?" Bai Lu asked. Her voice calm, steady, and sharper than any anger. "Because she was falling apart and I did not think," he admitted. "I acted without considering you. And that is my biggest mistake." She looked at him for a long moment, then turned her face away. He felt his breath leave him. "Bai Lu, please. Let me fix this. Let me prove what I feel for you. Not with words, but with everything I do from now on." She closed her eyes and inhaled slowly, as though deciding something deep within herself. When she finally opened them, her expression had softened, but only slightly. "This is your last chance, Dylan. Do not fail me again." He nodded without hesitation. "I will not." She leaned into him slowly, and he wrapped his arms around her with a certainty he should have shown from the beginning. The night breeze moved around them gently, and for the first time since the reunion the world felt still again. Far behind them Shen Yue watched from a hallway window. She saw the embrace, the closeness, the forgiveness. Her heart ached quietly, but she managed a soft smile. Let them be happy, she whispered before turning away. Outside, Dylan held Bai Lu tighter and whispered, I choose you. Always. And just like that, the silence between them finally began to heal.